Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into something really fascinating. Chapter 12 of the Bhagavad Gita. It's known as Bhakti Yoga, often called the Yoga of Devotion. And right at the start, Arjuna asks Krishna this really fundamental question, doesn't he? It's basically, who's the better yogi? Is it the person who worships the formless absolute, the abstract idea? Or is it the one who surrenders completely to you, Krishna, with devotion? And that feels very modern, actually. It's like asking, do I need the structure, the rituals, a name for God? Or can I just, meditate quietly?
Exactly. It's a question many people grapple with. And what's great is that in this chapter, Krishna gives a really clear answer. So in this deep dive, we're going to unpack that. We'll look at what bhakti really means, not just historically, but, for you, for your own practice today.
Okay, so Arjuna puts this choice out there, formless versus personal devotion. How does Krishna even begin to tackle that? It seems like a big fork in the road.
Well, his first response is actually incredibly direct and quite unifying. He essentially says, look, both paths lead to me.
Ah, okay. So right off the bat, he's saying neither path is wrong.
Precisely. He validates both approaches. Whether you're contemplating the unmanifest, the sort of abstract divine, or you're engaging with a personal form of God, both can get you to the same place.
But then there's a shift, isn't there? He says both are valid, but then he leans slightly. He says something like, those who fix their minds on me with love and faith.
They are especially dear to me.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the key part. He acknowledges the validity of the other path, which he notes is harder, but he highlights the path of devotion.
And why is that? What's special about adding love and faith into the mix?
Well, he suggests that this element of love, this bhakti, it transforms the spiritual journey. It's not just duty or discipline anymore. It becomes, as you said, sweet. It adds this element of relationship, of connection.
It makes it less arduous, perhaps, more joyful.
Exactly. It introduces a personal connection that, for many people, makes the path feel more accessible, more fulfilling, really. He honors the seekers of the formless, acknowledges their path is difficult, but gently points out that this way, with love, can feel easier, more natural for the heart.
So let's define that term then, bhakti. When Krishna uses it, what are we really talking about? Is it just feeling emotional sometimes?
It's much more than just temporary emotion. It's described as a devoted connection. Think of it like a love that runs so deep it actually starts to change who you are.
Okay, so connection is key, not just feeling.
Right. And it's rooted in joy, not fear or obligation. It's a willing, joyful surrender. In bhakti, the divine isn't some far-off concept. It becomes intensely personal. Your beloved, maybe your closest friend, or even your own deepest self.
And there's that line in
Yes, to those who are ever devoted, I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. It perfectly captures that feeling in chapter 12. It speaks to this active, caring relationship. It's not just you striving. There's a sense of divine grace, of being held,
That's beautiful. So we understand the idea of bhakti now, this deep connection. But how does Krishna say this actually shows up? What does a devotee look like in practice?
Yeah, he gets very specific. He paints a really clear picture. He lists qualities.
Like what? What are the hallmarks?
Well, he says a true bhakta, someone devoted, is he who hates no one. That's the start. Friendly, compassionate.
Okay, so it's very much about how you relate to others.
Absolutely. And also internally. Free from pride and ego, he says. Steady in joy and sorrow. That's huge.
That equanimity, yeah.
Right. And forgiving, content, self-controlled. He concludes, such a person is dear to me.
What strikes me there is what's not on the list. He doesn't seem to be asking for big, elaborate rituals.
Exactly. That's a crucial point. He asks for qualities of the heart. It's not about outward showmanship. Bhakti, in this sense, is a kind of quiet strength. It's an inner state that naturally flows outward. And importantly, it's not just about loving God in isolation. It has to translate into loving, or at least not hating, all beings.
Which feels incredibly relevant today with all the division we see. Cultivating humility, compassion, that's radical stuff.
It really is. Especially the free from ego part in a world that often encourages the opposite.
So if we were to boil down the key messages of Chapter 12, the main takeaways for someone listening, what would they be?
Okay, let's try. First, both paths are valid. Devotion with form, devotion without form, they both work. But Krishna suggests personal devotion is often more accessible for most people.
Makes sense. What else? What about the person on the path?
The second point is about the qualities of that person. A true devotee, a bhakta, is humble, peaceful, loving, and possesses equanimity, that inner balance.
Okay, and the third, what's the ask from Krishna?
The third is what we just touched on. Krishna wants your heart. He desires love and surrender much more than just going through the motions of rituals. It's the inner attitude that matters most.
Right, the intention behind it.
Exactly. Then fourth, the outcome. Following this path of bhakti leads towards inner purity, a sense of spiritual protection, and ultimately, that union with the divine.
And the fifth, is there one more key takeaway?
Yes, and it's perhaps the most comforting one. Perfection isn't the entry requirement. Sincerity is. You don't have to have it all figured out or be flawless. Just be sincere in your heart.
Wow. That really lowers the barrier to entry, doesn't it? Sincerity over perfection.
It absolutely does. It makes it feel possible for anyone.
So tying this all together, if sincerity is enough, if love is the key, what does God actually want from us? If it's not grand gestures, what is it?
Well, Krishna gives this incredibly simple and profound answer. Again, technically from chapter 9, but capturing the essence here. Offer me a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or even a drop of water.
Just simple things.
With love, he adds, and I accept it. That's the core. It's not the offering itself. It's the love behind it, the purity of heart.
Your love is enough.
Yes.
Your heart. That is the offering. That feels like the ultimate message of Bhakti Yoga.
It truly is. Simple, profound, and deeply liberating.
So, wrapping up our deep dive today on Bhakti Yoga, the core message seems to be the incredible power found in a simple, surrendered heart.
Absolutely. And perhaps a thought to leave everyone with is this. How might cultivating these specific qualities Krishna mentions, the compassion, the humility, the steadiness, how might that change not just our own inner spiritual feeling, but our actual everyday interactions?
How does it change how we are with our family, our colleagues, strangers?
Exactly. How does cultivating the heart transform the world around us, one interaction at a time? It's something really practical to sit with this week.
That's a powerful connection to our daily lives. Thank you. And looking ahead, next time on the deep dive, we'll be shifting gears a bit to explore Jnana Yoga. That's the path of wisdom. And we'll get into this fascinating distinction Krishna makes between the field and the knower of the field. So lots to look forward to there. But until then, our wish for you is simple. Live with love, act with humility, and always remember the divine loves a simple, surrendered heart.